On the news tonight, President Tinubu receives Egyptian envoy, urges him on.
Services sector recorded 4.33% growth rate, and also services sector contributed 57.5%. That is Q1 2025.
Nigeria's economy takes a turn, grows by 3.13% in first quarter of 2025.
This exercise represents a pivotal milestone in our collective journey to secure Nigeria's exit from the Financial Action Task Force grey list.
Nigeria deploys interagency cooperation to stem money laundering, terrorism financing, and other illicit financial flows. You're welcome to the Network News. I am Lami Ali. Reading with me tonight is Hingino John Adams from our studios in Lagos. Musa Abubakar will take the business news segments. And of course, we have with us in the studio the Statistician General of Nigeria, Mr. Semiu Adeyemi, to throw more light on the rebasing of the GDP. Remember, you can join us on nta.ng/live and on other social media handles of the NTA displayed on your screen for more details. Now, the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Arab Republic of Egypt have signed a Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, to strengthen bilateral cooperation in the aviation sector. Details of that report will come to you in the course of the bulletin. Now, Nigeria's rebased gross domestic product, GDP, shows that the economy grew by 3.13% in the first quarter of 2025. New release data from the National Bureau of Statistics says this figure reflects a more accurate measurement of Nigeria's economic activities using the 2019 as the new base year. Moplang Dakok is working on that report, and we shall bring it to you.
Shows that Nigeria's economy expanded to 94.5 trillion naira. The National Bureau of Statistics says that the figure captures structural changes in the economy and improvements in data sources.
Services sector recorded 4.33% growth rate, and also services sector contributed 57.5%. That is Q1 2025.
The non-oil sector grew by 3.1% in real terms. The trade sector grew by 9.13%. Accommodation and food services grew by 60.35%. Transportation and storage, 53.56%. Information and communication sector grew by 31.63%, while the agriculture sector grew by 10.04%. The data shows that in nominal terms, the rebased GDP estimates put Nigeria's economic output at 205.09 trillion naira in 2019, 213.6 trillion naira in 2020, 243.3 trillion naira in 2021, 274.2 trillion naira in 2022, 314 trillion naira in 2023, and 372.8 trillion naira in 2024. On a whole, the rebased GDP provides a clearer picture of Nigeria's economic structure and performance. In Abuja, Moplang Dakok, NTA News.
And so to provide more insight to some of the issues raised in that report from Moplang Dakok, we have with us in the studio the Statistician General of the Federation, Prince Semiu Adeyemi Adeniro. Sir, we welcome you to the Network News.
Thank you for having me. Good evening, Nigerians.
All right. Now, the rebased figure shows 3.13% growth in the first quarter of 2025. What does this tell Nigerians about the current state of Nigeria's economy? We want us to give us a summary of the figures.
Thank you very much. The 3.13% growth in GDP for Q1 2025 signify that the Nigerian economy is progressing and we are improving in the performance at various sectors of the economy. Looking at when we compare with 2.27% that we have in Q1 of 2024, we can see that there is significant improvement in that Q1 2025. There are other sectors that contributed to this growth. We have the services sector that contributed the most growth for the Q1 2025. But agri sector also performed well. It's a positive growth. And then we have the industries that also have over 3% growth rate in Q1 of 2025.
So how does this rebasing exercise differ from the one carried out in 2018 and 2019 in terms of methodology and, of course, the scope?
The last rebasing was carried out in 2010, and the result was released in 2014. So this new rebase year is 2019, and we have really improved on the methodology that was adopted for this round of the rebasing. There are some sectors that were not well classified in the last rebasing. Using the international classification of industrial activities, revision 4, we have been able to reclassify all these sectors into their appropriate group. In this new rebasing as well, we have improved substantially in the coverage of the informal sector, which was not well covered in the 2010 GDP rebasing. The informal sector is well covered such that we have the breakdown of the activities in the informal sector to all the 46 sectors of the economy that we have. These are some of the improvements that we have done in terms of methodology and scope of this new rebasing.
So, all right, from the information available, the services sector recorded the highest growth. What other sectors pushed the GDP in the first quarter of 2025? We want you to tell us about the sectoral performance.
Yes, as I said earlier, the agri sector boosts the performance of Q1 for us to have that 3.13%. We have the crop sector activity under agri that performed very well in Q1. We also have livestock. Livestock is coming up now. Thank the government for improvement and focus that we have on the livestock sector in the country. We have substantial improvement in the data, and also is now contributing more to the growth of our GDP. So the agri sector performed positively well, and then the industrial sector also have a growth rate of over 3%, apart from the services that lead the trend in that positive growth.
What improvements were made in the data sources and collection that contributed to this rebasing that we're talking about?
Yes, there are a lot of gaps observed in the 2010 GDP rebasing. Before we started this round of the rebasing, we took stock of all those gaps, and we try as much as possible to see that we fill those gaps in terms of data sources and validity of the data. We went around all necessary and relevant departments of government, ministry department and agencies of government to ensure that we work closely with the staff. We visited the ministers when we talk about this new sector created by this government, the Communication and Digital Economy, the Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy. We visited the minister, and we come up with a committee between MBS and their team to work with them to ensure that the data for that new sector is well captured, and that is why we have improvement in the digital economy activities in this new GDP rebasing. We also work closely with the staff of marine and blue economy. You know, it's another new sector created by this government. We visited the Honorable Minister, and they come up with a committee between our staff and the staff of the ministry, and we ensure that we capture all agencies under that ministry to get the data that will represent that ministry properly. In the past, the last rebasing, there is always complaint about the GDP not covering activities that are going on in the marine sector. But this time around, we have been able to get data that represent what that sector is contributing to the GDP.
Right, it was quite a comprehensive and inclusive exercise. So when should Nigerians expect the next rebasing, and how regularly should this be done?
The international best practice stipulated every 5 years that the economy should be rebased because of improvement in technology, because of change in consumption, because of advance in the way and manner in which goods and services are being produced. So all this they are changing regularly these days, and then the economy should also follow suit if we want to measure with current trend. So 5 years is the recommended period. There are other countries that have advanced that they do what we call chain linking. Chain linking is like you are rebasing every year because data is readily available for them to link the previous year to the new year, so that they don't have to wait for 5 years before the rebasing. But for other countries, like developing countries, because of fund constraint, because of resources, and sometimes in some countries, because of the technical capacity of the staff, they are not able to do it every 5 years. So that is the idea. But we in Nigeria, we are looking forward to reduce the number of years that we are going to be doing the rebasing. The last one was in 2010, and now we are in 2025. That's a period of over a decade. We hope that the next one will not be up to that. The one before the 2010 was about 20 years. So, but you can see the progressive and the improvement that we are making. So next one, we hope that now that everybody is aware, such that it will not be making as a big deal, because the rebasing exercise is a routine statistical exercise by national statistical offices. So it's not something that is new. It's not something that should be strange. It's not something that should be big in our side if we are doing it regularly. So we hope that we will not take a longer period before we start the process and then reach the next rebasing.
Thank you so much, Prince Semiu Adeyemi, for putting more perspective to the rebasing of Nigeria's GDP. We thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
All right, shareholders of Bua Cement PLC have every reason to smile as the company announces over 69 billion naira in dividends following a strong 2024 performance. In its 9th annual general meeting, Bua Cement reported a 90.5% increase in revenue and continued expansion across Nigeria's cement landscape. Musa Abubakar has the reports.
In a year defined by expansion, innovation and impact, Bua Cement PLC has once again raised the bar. At its 9th annual general meeting in 2025, the company announced a stellar performance for the 2024 financial year, driven by strategic investments and operational efficiency. In terms of financial performance, Bua Cement recorded a 90.5% surge in revenue, reaching 876.5 billion naira. Net profit before tax jumped 48.2% to 99.63 billion naira, despite the impact of currency depreciation. Profit after tax stood at 73.9 billion naira, up from 69.5 billion naira in 2023. Production volume also rose to 8.2 million metric tons in 2024 from 6.7 million the previous year.
If you look at other companies, a lot of companies, in Nigeria, actually posted, losses, but, Bua Cement at least posted 69, 70 billion naira.
Bua's market share grew by an impressive 26% in 2024, affirming its leadership in Nigeria's cement industry. Key to this growth was the commissioning of new production lines in Edo and Sokoto states, increasing the company's installed capacity from 11 to 17 million metric tons per annum.
81 billion naira after tax in 3 months. So that is much more than what we posted.
Earnings per share climbed to 2 naira 18 kobo, with a proposed dividend of 2 naira 5 kobo per share, representing a 94% payout ratio. Over 69 billion naira was returned to shareholders, a strong show of confidence and consistency in rewarding investors. In Abuja, I am Musa Walker, NTA News.
Musa Abubakar is here in the studio for more business-related news. Musa, you're on.
Thank you, Lami. Vice President Kashim Shettima has emphasized that unlocking Nigeria's forest wealth is crucial for achieving the present administration's vision of a $1 trillion economy by 2030. The Vice President highlighted that the forest economy, with its broad applications across agriculture, trade, health, climate, housing and finance, is a vital pillar for growth, citing that globally the forest economy is valued at over $1.3 trillion. This was at the inaugural Nigeria Forest Economy Summit 2025 in Abuja, with a theme from trees to trillions, unlocking Nigeria's forest wealth for inclusive economic prosperity.
Policy dialogue, but as a turning point, a moment where we have decided to turn trees into trillions and forests into futures.
They're capable of unlocking not only $2 billion, but much more than that. This therefore sector creates thousands of sustainable jobs, lifting millions of Nigerians out of poverty.
For the livestock sector, this opportunity translates into one, improve availability of quality fodder through sustainable rangeland and forest management. 2, reduce conflicts over grazing resources and water points, fostering peaceful social cohesion, coexistence, and building peace between stakeholders.
And now to stocks. The equities market closed Monday's trading session in positive territory as the bulls dominate market activities. The all-share index climbed 0.18% to close at 131,826.77 points. A total of 706 million shares valued at 21.5 billion naira exchanged hands in 30,750 deals. Equity capitalization settled at 83.4 trillion naira at the end of the session. That concludes business news. It's now time to take some pause for some messages. The news continues after the break.
The board, management and staff of Blueprint Newspaper Limited cordially invite the general public to the 2024 edition of Blueprint Newspaper's Impact Series and Awards Ceremony. Theme: Exploring the Potentials of Livestock Exports in Nigeria. Date: July 22nd, 2025. Time: 9 a.m. prompt. Venue: Abuja Continental Hotel, formerly Sheraton Hotel, Abuja, Federal Capital Territory. Keynote speaker: Special Advisor to the President and National Coordinator of the Presidential Livestock Reform Initiative, Professor Atahiru Jega, Royal Father of the Day.
The Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Arab Republic of Egypt have signed a memorandum of understanding to strengthen bilateral cooperation in the aviation sector. This MOU signed following a review of the bilateral air service agreements between the two countries aims to expand bilateral ties through aviation, unlock new opportunities in technical cooperation, route expansion, and joint investment in civil aviation infrastructure, and also enhance regional integration, service delivery, and connectivity in Africa. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo SAN, described the signing of the MOU as a historic milestone, signaling a new chapter of collaboration and shared prosperity between Nigeria and Egypt. Egyptian Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Badr Abdulati, expressed gratitude for the warm reception and conveyed greetings from President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. reiterating Egypt's commitment to strengthening bilateral relations with Nigeria. This partnership is expected to further enhance the strong commercial ties and mutual benefits between both countries. To security matters now, the National Counter-Terrorism Center Office of the National Security Advisor has reaffirmed commitment to interagency cooperation in the fight against money laundering, terrorism financing and other illicit flows. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the coordinator of the center, Major General Adamugar Balaka, stated this at an event organized by the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit in Abuja.
February 2023, the Financial Action Task Force placed Nigeria on the grey list due to some identified deficiencies. This sit-on-site meeting is focused on assessing Nigeria's efforts to adequately address strategic identified challenges to reposition Nigeria's financial system and international credibility.
The rapid progress we have made since February 2023 to complete items on our action plan has been the result of a collective national effort. Also delighted to inform you that as a recognition of the excellent work we have all done and our regional and global leadership, the FATF has invited Nigeria to join its guest member initiative. It means that Nigeria will participate under our own flag in the discussions and projects of the FATF for the next year.
The coordinator, National Counter-Terrorism Center, stressed Nigeria has been consistent in the fight against money laundering and terrorism financing.
This exercise represents a pivotal milestone in our collective journey to secure Nigeria's exit from the Financial Action Task Force grey list. It offers a final opportunity to test our level of preparedness and harmonize institutional response before the on-site assessment.
The NFIU is determined to safeguard Nigeria's financial system and contribute to global fight against money laundering and terrorism financing through credible financial intelligence. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Now, big tech companies responsible for online and digital payment platforms self-regulate, quite all right, but the cyberspace is still a risky environment as online scams, cyberbullying, misinformation and data breaches still exist. In response to this, the National Information Technology Development Agency, NIDA, is engaging stakeholders, including lawmakers from the National Assembly and civil society organizations, in a public engagement to shape a white paper that will form the basis for a new online harm protection bill. Chimdima Ndubisi tells us more.
What is going on? Just what's my account to understand what's going on. Mayo here just informed me that she has lost access to her email account containing important documents. It is for people like her and others who experience one form of cybercrime or the other that our bill on online harm protection is being proposed at the National Assembly.
The bill seeks to make handlers of online platforms accountable, secure data of citizens, and minimize their authority on controlling what people see or read by filtering viewed content, which invariably shapes societal opinions.
95% are worried about misinformation. I've been a victim. The spread of false information has fueled real-world violence, demonstrating how online harm can have offline, life or death consequences.
This is a social engineering thing. So we think of having online harm protection center like a semi-autonomous agency.
It must speak the language of trust. It must reflect the lived experiences of the old woman navigating Facebook and WhatsApp.
Stakeholders here are quick to clarify that it's not an attempt to gag the social media, but to regulate online activities and protect democracy. In Abuja, Chimdima Ndubisi, NTA News.
There is a strong demand for the passage of the Reserved Seats for Women Bill into law, aimed at promoting women's rights and ensuring their full participation in policy making. At a press briefing, Osasu Igbenedijo Uguche, Executive Director of the Osasu Show Group, described the initiative as a groundbreaking act of justice for women across all sectors. Elizabeth Omorui reports.
Women's representation in the Nigerian National Assembly remains critically low, with the 10th Assembly reflecting less than 5% female participation. Current reports indicate that only 4 women occupy seats in the Senate out of 109, accounting for just 2.7%, while only 17 women hold seats in the House of Representatives. This alarming decline prompted a press briefing by the Executive Director of the Osasu Show Group, aimed at rallying support for inclusive systems that empower women to succeed.
TOS Foundation is leading over 100 women and youth groups to advocate for this bill. We are working with a diverse set of people, and we're open to work with even more people that are willing to see this bill pass into law. So I do not believe in the saying that women don't work together or women don't support women. I actually think that we work very well together.
A special assistant to the President on community engagement with other key stakeholders in women's affairs highlighted that the proposed bill, when passed, would directly tackle the significant underrepresentation of women in Nigerian politics.
We are asking for a deliberate measures from the National Assembly to create this extra seats. And mind you, when we have this extra seats, it doesn't mean we cannot run for other seats, which is 1 seat per state.
President Tinubu want to leave a legacy. He want to show the world that we are of age. And he want to be known as a global he for she icon. If he can make sure that this bill is properly effected.
There is an expectation that all relevant parties will fulfill their responsibilities diligently to ensure Nigerian women achieve their aspirations and contribute meaningfully to national development. Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
Nigeria has made remarkable improvements in the prevention of mother-to-child transmission of HIV, leading to the reduction in pediatric HIV in the country. The National Coordinator, National AIDS and Hepatitis Control Program, Dr. Adibobola Bashirun, said this while briefing newsmen on the update of PMTCT in Abuja. This is made possible through interventions of government and partners on HIV response, which have led to the reduction of vertical transmission rates significantly, with over 90% of identified HIV-positive pregnant women receiving antiretroviral therapy.
It fits into the Free to Shine initiative of the First Lady of Nigeria, Her Excellency Senator Oluremi Tinubu CON. We've been able to improve our early infant diagnosis equipment setup from about 0 to 85 for a technology called the MPMA technology, and we've also been able to improve the Gene Expert, which is another mechanism of equipment that can use to do early diagnosis in children.
The coordinator stressed the need for health correspondents to tell the Nigerian story on new developments in line with the renewed hope agenda of the current administration and Free to Shine initiative of the First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu. Governor Umar Namadi has reiterated his administration's commitments to grassroots development and inclusive governance. This was during his visit to Gwaram local government area, where he commissioned key infrastructure projects and engaged with local communities. Mohammed Musa Askira reports.
Governor Umar Namadi's visit to Gwaram local government area through Birnin-Kudu was marked by the commissioning of a newly constructed hospital and a modern primary school aimed at improving healthcare delivery and educational access in the region. The governor also inspected the renovated Birnin-Kudu local government secretariat, where he was briefed on recent upgrades and ongoing administrative reforms. A massive crowd of residents lined the streets, forcing the governor to walk over 2 kilometers before accessing the road to the venue of the Citizens Engagement Program. The enthusiastic turnout and warm reception visibly impressed the governor, who commended the people for their unwavering support. During the event, heads of various ministries and government agencies presented reports on developmental projects completed in the area, Abuja, which were affirmed by community members in attendance. Community leaders presented a written documents to the governor outlining priority development needs of the area. Governor Namadi assured the people that the recommendations will be carefully considered and integrated into the 2026 state budget. He emphasized that such engagements are essential for aligning government initiatives with the needs of the people as part of his administration's bottom-up approach to governance. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
Lagos is where we go next, with Hingino taking the lead. It's over to you, Hingino.
Lami, and welcome to Lagos. Ending the menace of petroleum smuggling is one of the major goals of the Nigeria Customs Service, and with its continuous effort, it has made a notable breakthrough intercepting large quantities of petrol bound for illegal exports to the Republic of Benin, showcasing its unwavering commitment to safeguarding the nation's economy. Smuggling of petroleum out of Nigeria has been a nagging problem along its borders, despite the Nigeria Customs Service's relentless fight against illicit trades and activities. However, the service, through the help of intensified surveillance, has recently intercepted significant quantities of petroleum motor spirit bound for illegal export to the Republic of Benin.
The operatives, acting on credible intelligence and in line with our renewed mandate, successfully intercepted a total of 1,134 jerrycans of 25 liters and 30 liters respectively, and 33 drums of premium motor spirits, yielding a volume of 35,535 liters at various notorious smuggling flashpoints, intercepted with 6 vehicles being used as means of conveyance.
The Comptroller General represented noted that such illicit activity deprives the government of billions of naira in revenue, strains the fuel supply chain, and undermines policies aimed at stabilizing the economy.
A total duty paid value of the intercepted petroleum products and conveying vehicles is to the tune of 58,360,000 naira only. At a time when the nation is grappling with energy distribution challenges, we cannot afford to allow saboteurs to compromise our national interest for personal gain.
The CG says the Nigeria Customs Service remains resolute in safeguarding the nation's borders against illicit trade, urging stakeholders and border communities to collaborate in combating economic saboteurs. In Lagos, Adejoke Odeka, NTA News. Economic and social inclusion of widows of police officers who died in service to the nation will continue to receive priority attention. Vocational training in different crafts is one area the Lagos State chapter of the Police Officers' Wives Association is leveraging to ensure financial stability of the widows. Joel Pupola reports that over 200 women benefited from the Skill Acquisition and Business Empowerment Program organized by POA and its partners.
Widowhood is not the end of the world, and despite their traumatic experiences, members of the late Police Officers' Wives Association have found their feet again, courtesy of Lagos State chapter of the Police Officers' Wives Association, POA. POA chairperson Riscott Oluwatoyin Jimo assures that the association will continue to support members of La POA in their quest to improve the welfare of their children and protect them from family and societal abuse.
And recently, some of their children were also given scholarship, and we also organized a skill acquisition program for them. At least they can have something to do that can also help to better their lives.
Many of the widows are plagued by various ailments, and this free medical outreach is an opportunity to ascertain their health status. With economic empowerment being the thrust of the program, members of LAPOA were trained in various vocational skills, ranging from digital marketing, soap making, and catering. Practical experience of their desired craft aroused their curiosity, and members of LAPOA are not taking this for granted.
And I had this kind of mind of doing something like soap making, and I've learned a lot about how to make soap, and I think I'm okay with it.
Posts at times, but I don't see anything. But with what I've learned today, by implementing whatever that I've learned today, I believe that there will be a kind of changes in my views and engagement online.
Participants were also educated on how to handle mental health issues, their rights as widows, and financial literacy. No fewer than 40 members of LAPOA received sewing machines, grinding machines, air dryers, and other business startup equipment. In Lagos, Joel Bukwola, NTA News.
Those are the reports from Lagos. Network News continues with Lami after this break.
Time is game on. Meet my SureBet Game Changer, made from natural ingredients to deliver game-changing chicken aroma and taste for my whole team.
Mom, why did we not use this before?
To win big, everything in your hand.
Thank you for saying. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has met with a group of retired police officers who were at the force headquarters to demand removal from the contributory pension scheme. Francis Form reports.
The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, met with the retirees and assured them that the leadership of the force is actively engaging with relevant authorities to address their grievances.
The protest is not going to give you solution. It is coming together and dialogue, coming together to talk. You said we should tell ourselves the truth. That is what can give results. Something is being done. We are not happy that you are suffering in retirement. No person, none of these officers you see here seated is happy that our colleagues are suffering in retirement.
The IGP emphasized that the welfare of both serving and retired personnel remain a top priority under his administration. He appealed for patience and promised that the force will not relent until justice is done. Francis from NTA News.
A new platform known as the Teachers Community of Practice has been launched. The initiative is aimed at providing teachers with opportunities to share experiences, identify strengths and weaknesses, and enhance their professional skills through collaborative and reflective learning. Olanka Ojo reports that the theme of the workshop is revamping education through collaboration, innovation, and practice.
According to 2024 data from the Universal Basic Education Commission, Nigeria currently requires 694,078 teachers at primary level. This shortfall, compounded by other systemic challenges, means the nation is yet to meet the recommended student-teacher ratio. To address some of these gaps, a group of educators sharing common passion for excellence in teaching have converged on Abuja for a 4-day workshop designed to promote social learning, collaboration, and co-creation of innovative solutions in teaching methods and strategies.
The online COP was remarkably impacted on the teachers' PCK and the overall professional performance. In our report, it's cost-effective and, of course, bring teachers on the same geographical space.
At the heart of the Teachers Community of Practice is a commitment to enhance professional growth, digital pedagogy, and problem-solving through sustained learning and innovation. For government, this is a strategic move to build capacity.
The launch of Community of Practice is a deliberate and strategic step in preparing for the rollout of our Edu Revamp digital platform. It has 5 modules. These modules are carefully identified based on the 21st century need of a learner.
The pilot phase kicks off with 80 teachers drawn from unity colleges across the country. With this intentional effort to strengthen teaching practices, participating teachers can now broaden their knowledge base and teaching skills, not just within their individual schools, but across a national network of like-minded professionals. Olainka Ojo, NTA News.
You're watching the Network News. We pause again to bring you some messages. Do stay. Now, sports news. Super Falcons head coach Justin Madugu has declared his team's readiness for the clash with the Banyana of South Africa. The 9-time champions will compete against the defending champions for a spot in the final of the 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations in Casablanca on Tuesday. The Falcons, who secured a dominant 5-0 victory over the Copper Queens of Zambia in the quarterfinals, resumed training on Sunday after taking a break, with Madugu emphasizing that his players are focused on the task ahead.
The prestige is equally there. It's an extra motivation for everybody. And so we're not looking at them as underdogs. They will be favored as defending champions. So they will be favored, like I said, as defending champions. So it's for us they took the crown from us. We want to do the same.
And on karate, the 2025 UFAC African Karate Championship has kicked off in Abuja, drawing more than 1,000 athletes from 31 countries who will compete for honors. The championship began on Monday with a technical session for officials and coaches, with the president of the Karate Federation of Nigeria, Silas Agara, revealing that the federation has arranged all necessary logistics and security measures to ensure the event runs smoothly and safely.
That are here to provide technical assistance to the championship are here on ground. And on our part as a federation, we have been on ground for the past 1 week trying to ensure that all the logistics.
And that does it on the news for tonight. We thank you for being a part of it. I'm Lami Ali. Do have a good evening.
Perhaps you want to know more about the devices and gadgets you use. Tech Mode will bridge that gap. Connect great minds while extraying everything about technology as it concerns you.
It is Tech Mode.
Tech Mode is unlocking your tomorrow today.
Our music is one of our greatest exports, but our wildlife could be another great industry if we protect it for future generations. Right now, it's threatened by illegal wildlife trade. So please, report wildlife crime and say no to illegal bushmeat. Because poaching steals from us all.